Peace, peace, peace. Good people out there.
Greetings, all.
Greetings, all. So, we're sitting here vibrating, and we just been thinking about the work. We've been thinking a lot about our work, our life's purpose, and internal balance. Always come to the core of the work.
Yes, we just finished a 3-month workshop on the Immaculate Conception of Youth.
Yes.
And with that, we got to the point where we were like, we have to address certain things with the general public because it creates a conversation, right?
Yes.
So as it pertains to your internal balance and your identifying if you would marry you, we want to pose a few questions to you all to see if this is something that you might want to think about.
Yes, and marrying yourself, especially if you want someone else to marry you. So first question is, would you marry you if you pass gas over 10 times a day? And it didn't smell too good. Would you marry yourself then if you did not hold it and go to the restroom to release it, but you just did it out in public and around yourself?
Look, y'all, he only saying that not because I do it, but because when we're talking to our clients, he likes to say, treat me like the new guy. Like, how would you treat the new guy, right? But at the same time, it's one thing when you're addressing who your representative is with the new guy, but there are certain things that you probably don't want to do ever in life, which is just be freely passing gas, just all willy-nilly like, right?
Absolutely. Good people. Comfort is one thing, but we should always be aiming, especially in our relationships with ourselves, to move in a way that's respectable to your nose.
So let's just deal with the question.
All right.
If you are the person who passed gas, did you say 10 times a day?
Yeah, 10 times a day.
And all willy-nilly like in public and not go to the bathroom and excuse yourself, then you should ask yourself, if you were in a relationship, would you marry you if you were that person, and if you would start to take the other person into consideration, or you can take yourself into consideration, because you don't want nobody to be able to say that that's what you do.
Right.
You want to be the one that, or maybe you do, but some people might just want to be the one that they want their spouse or whoever they're dating to say, oh yeah, she excuses herself every time, and when she comes back, I already know what she did, but she didn't do it in front of me.
Right. And then, so another question, it's on you now.
Would you marry you if you were the type of person who was indecisive? Let's take a more serious approach to it. And you were one of those people who you make a decision, a solid decision, and then within that solid decision, you've switched it up.
Wow. Yeah.
So something simple as saying, you know what? Let's go out to eat tonight. Do you want to go? Let's go to Olive Garden. I really want to go to Olive Garden, and because they got that pasta and all of that. Or do you think we should go to that other Italian restaurant?
Oh yeah, just switching up. Yeah, that would be kind of irking to someone that likes to be decisive. Would you marry you if you are indecisive? And this is a switch up. You go in between wanting to do this and then immediately wanting to do that. So you never really get a chance to choose and stick to something.
Yeah.
So
you grab your bag, you're on your way out the door, and on your way to the car, you're like, ooh, Mexican food it is.
And when my palate was all ready for the Italian energy of the Olive Garden, the garden of olives.
Then you find yourself in that space where you're like, you switched up so many times, you end up at the food truck because it's too late to go anywhere now.
Right. Indeed. So, would you marry you? Is the topic of discussion. And, let's talk about marriage. We're in Los Angeles right now where when you think about relationships, it's like 10 women to every 2 men? It's like an 80-20%.
Oh, I thought that was Atlanta.
Oh, well, it's LA as well. So I'm saying that to say, fellas, we must start being decisive, standing up, and being unapologetic with our, brotherhood. There's a lot of men in different pockets that rarely come together for the sake of, iron sharpening iron. I'm talking in terms of a relationship. What does a strong man look like in a relationship? I feel so many times a lot of men everywhere around the world hear or have heard a woman say, you should be a real man. Like, what's a real man? If you're not around other brothers, a woman cannot tell you or even show you how to be a real man. It takes a group of men to come together and like workshop their feelings, their emotions, and be vulnerable with each other so we can just figure out what works for us, which I feel that is very important, that men need healing too. There's a lot of healing circles for women, but man, that 2% I was telling you about out of 10 or 20 out of 100, like that 20% need to come together so we can be stronger men and stronger examples of manhood for our women out there.
And women, stop telling a man that you need a real man when you don't even know what that looks like. Because now you're telling him not only to be something that he isn't, but you're trying to identify him as something of what you've never experienced or what you don't know. Yeah. So a lot of times, because these examples aren't always out there for us, we find ourselves having to grow together, which is not a bad thing. Right. However, when you're in that space where you're unclear, go get clarity.
Yes.
Find a brother in a particular space where you can identify them as what you would like to see or as what you think that is missing, and then have a conversation. But don't ever expect your person to be like that other person or to emulate them. Just get some jewels and then be able to apply the jewels, because no two people are exactly alike. And it won't last if you don't let the person be exactly who they are and grow in who they are.
I love that. Let the person be exactly who they are and grow in who they are. And it's power in that, men and women, for allowing people to be exactly who they are. However they show up, you don't have to have a emotional connection to how they're showing up, because they're showing up as themselves. Encourage that, and then you all can grow together. And it's very important that the same way you would like someone to give you the benefit of the doubt that you've grown past some situations, please give other people, extend that to them as well. Know that everybody is not the same person they were 2 days ago. We're all growing. Change is inevitable. So we have to look at it like that. And always look at the person as a whole being, even if they don't see themselves as whole. But you have to usher that energy or bring forth that energy.
I'm only laughing because a lot of us women, my age, I'm under 21, y'all.
For the 21st time.
Yeah, 20 something time. But we grow in this space where we are always looking at the potential. So then when you get to another certain age, you have the women that you admire, elders in the community or your parents tell you, no, you can't work with potential no more. You need something, a little bit more exact. So when it comes to this conversation that we're having, I keep thinking about the potential. And
potentiality.
Everybody has the potential to be something more than what they are in the moment. However, can you appreciate the moment that they're in to where you're not looking for that potential? Because like Father Amdi always says, the past, the present, and the future are all one. But when we're looking so far into the future at the potential of what that person could be, we're missing the moment. And if we don't see them living in this moment, then you can't expect them to ever become that later on in life, or maybe that connection is just not for you right now. And being okay to be patient enough with yourself to be able to identify that, because if it was meant to be, it will be. It's kismet.
Yes,
so
yes.
if you have to wait 5 years down the line and reconnect with somebody,
Yes.
that's fine, because really it's a moment for you to identify how you're going to reconnect with you. It's not
Yes.
about the other person.
It's always
It's
about you.
and what you've drawn to you in those moments.
Yes, because we are essentially magnets. Like, we attract what we are. So it's very important to know that in a moment you can change how you're vibrating. So that means you would change what you attract. But oftentimes people would like to see it happen immediately. You know, we're people that I got to see it to believe it, but just know it. If you know it, you can grow it, and that's very important.
Sometimes you got to believe it to see it.
Yes.
Not see it to believe it.
Exactly.
Because if you don't believe
Right.
it, or if you don't know it, then it is impossible virtually in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
Very
So,
important.
What
Yes.
they say, faith comes by, not by sight, but by...
Yeah.
Scratch that. We'll get that right next time.
Oh my. So.
But y'all know what I mean.
Yeah, y'all know what she means. So yes, would you marry you? You know, do you love you? You know, what's love? I feel that oftentimes people have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different definitions of what love
Is there
is.
7 definitions in one person, or 7 different people?
No, 7 definitions in one person. Great point. Because guess what? If someone was to ask you for the next 7 days straight, what's love? 9 times out of 10, every day you're going to answer it different. So we have to really stick to something, so we will not be out here with these loose definitions, because words are so powerful. Words create worlds. You know, that's where word come from world. So you could create a world with your words.
Yes.
Yes.
So we just want to thank you all for listening,
Yes.
and you know, join us again for more of these conversations.
Yes.
We will be back with more very soon, like mañana.
Mañana, yes, mañana, and all that groovy stuff. So again, I am Oshea Luja.
And I am Melanie Luja.
Yes, and I'm gonna say, and we are the Lujas.
Word.
To be continued. Peace.
Ashe.
Ashe.